Okay, well, right. Hello, Dr. William Painter here with the song and sermon. This is the fifth Sunday in Lent, and we have a very special reading today. And I picked a kind of a special song to go along with it. And once again, deferring to the inimitable John Prine. In a town this size, there's no place to hide. Everywhere you go, you meet someone you know. You can't steal a kiss in a place like this. How the rumors do fly in a town this size. In a smoky bar, in the backseat of your car, in your own little house, someone is sure to find out what you do and what you think and what you eat and what you drink. And if you smoke a cigarette, they'll be talking about your breath. In a town this size, well, there's no place to hide. Everywhere you go, you meet someone you know. You can't steal a kiss in a place like this. How the rumors do fly in a town this size. Oh, I had a fight with my girlfriend last night before the moon went down. It was all over town. How I made her cry and how she said goodbye. If it's true or not, don't seem to count a lot in a town this size. Well, there's no place to hide. Everywhere you go, you meet someone you know, and you can't steal a kiss in a place like this. How the rumors do fly in a town this size. Right, so I'll come back in a bit with a hopefully an inspiring message, maybe involving small towns. Okay, I'm back. Dr. William Painter here with Journey Road Ministries. Our reading for today, for this fifth Sunday of Lent, is John chapter 12, verses 20 to 33. Now among those who went up to worship at the festival were some Greeks. They came to Philip, who was from Bethsaida in Galilee, and said to him, "Sir, we wish to see Jesus." Philip went and told Andrew, and Andrew and Philip went and told Jesus. Jesus answered them, "The hour has come for the Son of Man to be glorified. Very truly I tell you, unless a grain of wheat falls into the earth and dies, it remains just a single grain. But if it dies, it bears much fruit. Those who love their life lose it, and those who hate their life in this world will keep it for eternal life. Whoever serves me must follow me, and where I am, there will my servant be also. Whoever serves me, the Father will honor. Now my soul is troubled, and what should I say? Father, save me from this hour? No, it is for this reason that I have come to this hour. Father, glorify your name." Then a voice came from heaven, "I have glorified it, and I will glorify it again." The crowd standing there heard it and said it was thunder. Others said, "An angel has spoken to him." Jesus answered, "This voice has come for your sake, not mine. Now is the judgment of this world. Now the ruler of this world will be driven out. And I, when I am lifted up from the earth, will draw all people to myself." He said this to indicate the kind of death he was to die. That's the gospel. What an interesting and fascinating piece for today. So Jesus is getting really famous, and the ministry is really taking off. And And so these Greeks, or Gentiles, or non-Jewish folk, they want to see him. They want to see him. It's not just like, oh, there he is over there. I mean, they actually want to experience Jesus. And so they came to Philip, and Philip gets all excited, because this is really what they've been working for, right? They've been working for sort of, international pansectarian recognition. And Philip, he goes to Andrew, and then they both go to Jesus, and they're like, hey, look, the Greeks, we're getting there, we're doing this. And then Jesus comes out with this real downer of a statement. The hour has come for the Son of Man to be glorified. I'm going to die. That's what he's telling them. I'm going to die. And I'm sure that their reaction was, what? How does this, we were just coming here with some good news, we're succeeding, and this is what you tell me? Because Jesus is always really full of surprises. And then he continues, and you have to understand, or I believe you have to understand, that Jesus isn't actually talking to Philip and Andrew anymore. He's really talking to us, the audience, a much broader audience, the sort of, unknown observers, which is who we are when we read the New Testament. We are faceless observers to the action there. We're in the audience. And he talks about dying, and he makes a statement here that is fairly powerful, very powerful, and that is, those who love their life lose it, and those who hate their life will keep it. Now, I'm pretty darn sure, putting it in the broader context of the life of Jesus, that he's not saying that if you love your life, you're going to lose it. What he's saying is, get your priorities straight. All right? If you are so focused on you, then you're going to lose what that is. You're going to lose it. And if you focus on hating your life, if you hate your life, you'll keep it. That sounds like a terrible thing, but that song I played in a town this size, I mean, I have never lived in a small town until now. I'm living in a small town. And it has constantly surprised me that when I go to the grocery store, there's somebody I know there. It's been a little bit of a relief to be able to wear a mask, because you're harder to recognize that way. And I've always grown up rather anonymous in the towns in which I lived. I was always the new kid. My family moved a lot, so no one ever knew me. No one ever said, hi, oh, over there, or drove by and honked, or any of that kind of stuff. I was always the one, on the outside of the window looking in, not on the inside where everybody was. And so living in this town I'm living in, it's been a real eye-opener for me, because everybody knows everybody else. You can't go anywhere without seeing somebody there. Tara, my wife, once told me, she says, well, there's a rule of thumb that for every year that you live in a small town, you have to add 5 minutes onto any trip to the grocery store, because you're going to run into somebody. So the longer you've lived there, the more somebodies you'll know, and the longer you have to engage them. Oh, how's your son? Oh, how's your daughter? How's your job? How's your this? How's your that? And they engage you, And we've lived here good 10 years, and so a quick trip to the grocery store is like at least 30 minutes, or it has been. Not so much with the pandemic, but it has always been. And so you run into people who know things about you that you didn't tell them, that they've heard from somebody else. And it's something that I'm not comfortable with. Okay, I'm not comfortable with people knowing things about me that I haven't told them about. I've always been the anonymous person. But there's real value in that, because that is really what community is about. So it's not about my life or what I'm comfortable with. It's about the world around me and how I can contribute to it. There was a meme on Facebook that I caught the other day and reposted it, and it was an image that says, I don't know who needs to hear this, but your choice to give up the last 11 or so months of your life being careful and socially distancing could very well be the reason someone else is alive today, and it will always have been worth it. And I think that's exactly what this passage is talking about. This passage is, I can't get those 11 months back. Those 11 months where I stayed home, or we didn't travel, we didn't have a family vacation, we didn't go to the zoo, we didn't go out to eat. We one of the things we kind of like to do, the three of us, is go to, like Buffalo Wild Wings, right? Which is so, mid-America, and sit there and eat wings and watch sports that I know very little about, actually. I don't follow sports, but they got all these screens around it. And we just sit there and we talk, and Nathan usually goes to the machine the claw machine, where you drop $1 in and it pulls out a 10-cent toy if you're lucky. and he's really good at it. And it's one of the things that wasn't a big deal. It was just something we did. And we've not gone anywhere and done anything. And I watched my son, his hair's getting longer because he doesn't want to go get it cut. He doesn't, like to get dressed. He doesn't like to go outside, doesn't like to be in public because he's afraid of getting the virus, as well he should be. That's a reasonable response. But it is still a sacrifice because he knows that he will be okay. The boy's 13 years old. Very small chance of this virus impacting him, but it's a very big chance of him bringing it home and it impacting me at my age, or my wife at her age, or somebody else. And so for the love of everyone around him, he stays home. He goes to virtual school. And that experience, his experience in that virtual academy, it's like being a ghost. They hold regular classes, and then he gets to observe that like a ghost, and it's like he's not there, and there's no one to interact with him, and the other virtual kids are ghosts too, and it's sad and it's depressing and it's not engaging. It's just awful. It's just really soul killing. And I've talked to him about it, and I'm like, Nate, I'm really sorry. He goes, it's okay. It's all right. We're safe, and I'd rather do this than get sick or bring something home and everybody gets sick. He gave up his life too. I mean, he didn't get to make the choice. We made a choice for him. We all gave up our lives for this last year to save the lives of other people. And this is exactly what Jesus is talking about. Because I've known people who have said, the heck with it, I'm going on holiday. One woman, she's like, I'm going to thumb my nose at the virus, and off she goes, to Arizona or someplace, and guess who was first in line to get a vaccine, because she is so focused on her life. She loves her life at the expense of all others. And that is the opposite of what Christianity is about. Christianity is not about self-flagellation or jumping off a cliff or lighting yourself on fire. Not like that. No, it's about focusing on the lives of people who are not you. And in that way, you have an eternal life in them. I mean, what is grief but love that perseveres through death? Right? I've lost people in this pandemic. I've had to do funerals. I've said this before. I just can't get over it. I can't get over it. I can't get over the loss. I can't get over having to do funerals for people. I can't get past it. I can't just say, oh, well, because I love those people, and they just died unexpectedly. They weren't supposed to die yet. They're supposed to still be here, and I love them and I miss them. And they continue to live through my love for them and their love for me. And I think and this is what Jesus is talking about here. Jesus is looking at his own death. That's what he says. He's going to be glorified. That means he's going to be brutalized. He's going to be tortured. He's going to be unjustly convicted, or maybe justly. I mean, he was a real troublemaker. And then he's going to be crucified. He's going to be executed in a really horrible fashion, drowning to death, elevated above the ground. The Romans were more than awful people, extremely creative in executing, inflicting pain on human beings. And Jesus went through all that, the whole crown of thorns. Oh, you're the king. Well, here's a crown of thorns, and they whipped him, and he had to carry his own. It wasn't enough to nail him to the cross. He had to carry his own cross through crowds of people who were ranting at him, people that he had come to help. Thanks a lot, guys. I could have just gone ahead and had a nice quiet life as a carpenter. And he dies, and he's glorified. And I think that for us, the message in Lent is, Lent's about giving up something, right? Everybody's like, I'm going to give up meat, or whatever you give up something valuable. People make jokes. I'm going to give up cauliflower. They don't like cauliflower, so it's no sacrifice. But Lent is about making a sacrifice in some fashion. And that's what this passage is about. This passage is about taking the focus off yourself, and focusing on those around you who need help, who need assurance, who need love, who need support. That's the message. And so in a town this size, there's no place to hide. Everywhere you go, you meet someone you know. And that is our life here. Even the strangers that we don't know, we know them as children of God. Be safe. Wear a mask. Pray a lot. And I'll see you in 3 weeks. God bless.